Tala! 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 Let there be light. Tala, what's up? Tala! 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 Let there be light. Tala! So welcome to Nigeria.
Thank you.
I'm sure our viewers would like to know your name and what you do and your country.
Okay. My name is Nahbila. I am a spoken word artist and a poet. Sometimes I'm an MC. Yes, I'm a writer too. I write screenplay and short stories, articles, personalized poems, and also I import body lotion from America and some gadgets, and that's basically what I do for now. Yeah, that's me.
So what would you say about spoken words in your country? Is it becoming known, or is it still a new terrain that people are still going into?
Actually, it is becoming known. Like 3 years ago, it wasn't like this. I mean, you talk about poetry and people will feel William Shakespeare. Yeah. So now when you talk about poetry and spoken word, they're going to be like, oh, there is Nahbila, there's Pen Boy, there's Motani. So it's becoming known, and many people are actually getting into the field because I think they feel like people listen now to spoken word. They don't just tell me that's mad people being on stage and saying things out of their head. No, it's not like that anymore. People actually want to hear people talk. They want to hear people address issues that concern societal issues. So I think it's becoming known. It's a little difficult, yes, but we are progressing. Unlike maybe 3 to 5 years ago, it was.
Yeah. So in your presentation, you made mention of people say you are a melancholic presenter, or your poems bring people to tears. Yeah. Is it deliberate? Is it due to experience? Is it that you are sampling the opinion of others and you feel you need to represent them?
Okay, now you got me. So it's not a deliberate act. There's a little bit of a little deliberate, but indeliberately deliberate. Does that exist? So the thing is, well, where I'm from, my region of origin and where I reside has been a crisis-stricken zone for over 9 years. This is actually the 9th year, and I've lived through a lot of traumatizing events personally. So it kind of makes it a little bit hard to write happy reality of my surrounding. So that's why I'm saying it's deliberate, but it's not deliberate. So while I'm saying some part of my story, I'm also saying some part of other people's story. Now that makes me the melancholy writer, but I write love poems too. I've written 2 love poems. And truth is, I really just want to address the societal issues, and most of them aren't really very beautiful. We can't fake the fact that people are suffering. We can't fake the fact that drug abuse is a thing. We can't fake the fact that unintended pregnancies are growing. So those things, we can't just fake them. We can't say that there's beauty in places where there is no beauty. So I think that is what earned me the name, the melancholic writer.
I hear from your voice that you're passionate about the girl child, especially knowing that the African girl child is always disenfranchised, she's marginalized, she faces a lot of rape, teenage pregnancy and all of that. How did it start for you?
Oh, okay. That was in 2019 when I just had my pressing. So we had this movement. We were supposed to leave my town to another town to preach about peace, because the crisis started in 2016. So 2019 was like 3 years after, and people had started talking about peace and things like that. So when I left, I joined the movement Home of Peace. We had a 1 week training about the things happening around us. Well, these things have been happening. I just didn't know what they were. You know, when you know something, you don't know the word to use it, to use to address that issue. Yes, that was the thing. So when we had this training, there was a session where we had to talk about the things that touched us personally, and I I realized that I think I was depressed because I started saying the things that actually happened to me, and I found myself crying because it felt like I was reliving the moment. And there was this other lady whose story got it was terrible, and I felt like okay, I was not alone in this issue, and it was something that we could address. So at first, it felt like what I'm just going through, but because of the training we had, you it made me understand that yes, you're going through that. So what are you doing about it? So it gave me this voice to want to talk about the things that I am going through, believing that I'm not the only person going through that. So basically, I just wanted to tell the girl's story from my own perspective, believing that I'm not the only one going through it. So based on that training, I wrote a poem. I think it was 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes presentation. That's the most heartfelt poem I've ever written. It's titled "Peace We Need." In that poem, I addressed it was like a story because most of my poems about it's like a story. So I addressed rape, I addressed killing, drug abuse, social media bullying. Well, I'm saying those things now. It's now that I realize that I addressed those issues. At the time, I was just narrating my story and how the crisis took a turn on me and other young girls. So it is after that training that I actually realized that I was addressing talking about the girl child. I didn't know. I just wanted to say my story. So that was my first melancholic poem. And I think I just delved into it and then I embraced it with my full chest. So I think that's about it.
As we wrap up now, what are some of the works you've done, and how did you come about them, and what were the experiences you gathered doing those works?
Okay, for poetry, I haven't really given out time to shoot videos, but I've written poems that I was thinking of publishing. So I wrote this one. I titled it "Ground Zero." Well, like we already agreed, I'm a melancholy writer, so Ground Zero. So that one was inspired the same by the crisis in my region. It talks more about how families separate. You know, when war comes, mother goes, father goes, the son disappears, the daughter goes. Like this Ground Zero is about how this still focused on the girl child. She had to live with her mom, and then she didn't know where her father was or her brother. So her father was shot in the poem, and then her brother joined the other side. You don't really name it which side it is. So her brother joined the other side, and the day she saw her brother, she couldn't recognize him. So that's basically the inspiration. It's not based on a particular story because it's actually a happening. There are a lot of those things happening. Separation, and she didn't go to school, got raped by the other side, and then she also had to stay strong for her mother and other mothers because they left their home and then they went to the bush to stay there for safety. So she had to be strong. So that's what inspired this poem. And like I said, I also write love poems. Yes, I wrote a poem about this. This one is about I haven't titled it yet. I think I'll find a good title for it. It's about how men should treat women. They shouldn't just go in for having sex with them, because women, I think we believe that you start having sex with us from our heads, like you tell us good things and before you go to the actual action. So this poem is addressing the fact that you can't just go into having sex with a woman, tell her she's beautiful, compliment her, tell her good things. So that's it. That's it for poems. I won't just go into poems that much. So let's go to, I said I was an MC, right? Yeah. So before coming to Nigeria, I emceed a show of about I think there were like 1,000 people, an event. So one of my elder brothers, he's a reverend father, so he was celebrating his 10 years anniversary as a priest. So you know how these priests are, they have like a lot of dignitaries, and oh my god, the hall was full. So when I stood in front of them, I was like, ooh, are these people going to see me? So I was a little scared. I was co-emceeing with another MC, but it was smooth. I felt like I was just handling this big it was like a big audition. And I was just doing my thing, and before I knew it, people were clapping and they're like, oh Nabi, you're a good MC, why don't you just take it up as a job? I'm like, nah, I'll just be doing it as part time. And then on to the next. I'm a screenwriter, a script supervisor, some of which you might call continuity. They are basically the same things. So I've featured in movies, Cameroon movies. We have Laxalu, we have the Kikum Spirit, the Untold African Story, and then Planters Plantation. I'm sure you must have heard of that. Our lead actress got nominated for African Magic VHS Award. I think it was year before last. Yes, we did. So proudly, I was the continuity, the script supervisor for Planters Plantation. You can check it out. Directed by Estin Young Dina. So that's about me. Yeah.
So on a final note, what would you like to say? What should people look out for? What do you hope to accomplish in the next 5 years and all of that?
Okay, now I would like to say that the next 5 years, I want to be that name that when you hear it, you hear change. When you hear Nahbila, you hear melancholic poetry. And also when you hear me, you hear comfort. Look out for poetry, look out for screenwriting, look out for movie making.
Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you. Bye.